Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. 6 Central, and play along only on GSN.com.
Welcome to Grand Slam, where television history will be made. For the first time, the greatest game show champions will gather on the same field of battle, and only one will reign supreme. From Jeopardy champions to millionaire winners, pop culture masters to word wizards, 16 of the game show world's elite have been seeded based on how much they've won. To compete in the most challenging game ever played, a winner-take-all tournament to finally prove who is the best of the best. At stake, a $100,000 grand prize, the coveted Grand Slam Crystal Trophy, and the right to be called America's greatest game show player. On the most difficult game on television, who can withstand the pressure? Who will win Grand Slam? Tonight, Rahim Oberholtzer, who became a millionaire on 21, takes on Phyllis, a game show enthusiast best known for winning big on greed. And later, Millionaire's first ever $1 million winner, John Carpenter, faces Tom McKee, who won over $300,000 on Tic-Tac-Dough back in 1980. Who will emerge victorious and who will be going home? Find out right now on Grand Slam.
Time for a little Grand Slam. I'm Dennis Miller. I'm joined up above the action once again by my good friend Amanda Byram, and we welcome you to Grand Slam. Tonight, 4 of the biggest game show champions ever will play their opening round matchups in this 16-player tournament, which will determine who will take home $100,000 and earn the right to be called the greatest contestant in all the land.
Tonight, 2 opening round matchups. Starting it off, Rahim Oberholtzer, the first big winner on the modern-day remake of 21, meets up with Las Vegas homemaker Phyllis, who has won almost $500,000 on game shows, including Greed, Card Sharks, Wheel of Fortune, Millionaire. Let's meet them.
Hi, I'm Rahim Oberholtzer from Houston, Texas. I work in investment banking and energy. Well, while I was in law school, I had already accepted my job in investment banking. Before I started that job, I wanted to have every experience I could and have an opportunity to go on the game show. Even if you end up not doing well, it's still a pretty unique experience. I won 4 straight games, so it totaled up $1.12 million. Once I won the money, a lot of people were saying that I should get a new car. Today I drive a 1994 Acura with 140,000 miles on it. When I have time, I like to play poker a lot.
He goes quietly along most of the night, and then at the end, Rahim usually cleans up.
Going into the show, I feel like I'm the underdog in the field. I'm the ordinary guy that's going to just do the best that I can.
Phyllis Harris, Las Vegas, Nevada. On a typical weekend day, my mom might have a barbecue and everyone would gather around the pool and hang out. I spend a lot of time with my family and friends. That's pretty much what I do.
I really didn't think of my mom as a quiz show mom. I thought of her as just my mom.
My kids have sort of grown up with my being on quiz shows. I was on Card Sharks Trivia Trap, Scrabble, Wheel of Fortune, Super Greed, and in 2001 I was on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Phyllis encourages everybody to be on game shows.
These game shows were made by men for men. They were produced by men, they were created by men, and men generally do better in them. I don't care if I beat a man or a woman or a child. I just want to win. I just want to win Grand Slam. It doesn't matter to me who I beat. I want the money.
I know what you're saying. Doesn't Dennis have another suit? No. Well, there they are, backstage. Pensive, hopeful. One of them about to have their dreams crushed like a watermelon at the Gallagher show. Amanda, your thoughts?
We've got Phyllis Harris tonight, jack of all trades, probably our most experienced player in the competition. She's played games like Card Sharks, Scrabble, Trivia Trap, Wheel of Fortune, Millionaire, Super Greed, and she is a very, very competitive woman. Now, she's up against Rahim Oberholtzer. He ranks 8th, I believe, on the all-time winnings list, so this should be an interesting matchup.
Well, Phyllis has been around, seen a lot of different game shows. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Let's go to the arena for Rahim and Phyllis matchup. All right, and while those two prepare for battle, it's time for the rules. Grand Slam is played over 4 rounds. General knowledge, numbers and logic, words and letters, and a final mixed round. Both contestants begin each round with 1 minute on their clocks. Once a contestant gives a correct answer, his clock stops, and his opponent's begins to count down. The player whose clock runs out first loses the round, and his opponent keeps whatever time remains on his own clock to play with in the final decisive round.
Now, each contestant has 3 switches to use at any time over 4 rounds. If the player doesn't like a question, he can simply switch it over to his opponent. It looks like our players are ready for round 1. So for the first time tonight, they're in the control of the questioner.
Contestants, take your positions. Round 1 is a general knowledge round. Earlier you tossed the coin to see who should go first, and Phyllis, you lost, so you'll answer the first question. Your clock will start to count down now. In the human body, the scapula is more commonly known as what?
Shoulder blade.
Correct. Rahim, what Broadway musical follows the story of paroled convict Jean Valjean?
Les Miserables.
Correct. Phyllis, what is the original name of the Roman Colosseum?
Pass.
Flavian Amphitheater. What building is depicted on the back of the current $50 bill?
Pass.
U.S. Capitol. King Ad Rock, Mike D, and MCA are all members of what famous hip-hop group?
Pass.
Beastie Boys. In the final episode of Sex and the City, viewers learned that Mr. Big's first name is actually
John.
correct. Rahim, who sang along with Paul McCartney on his hit song Ebony and Ivory?
Stevie Wonder.
Correct. Phyllis, what Russian was the first human being to orbit the Earth?
Pass.
Yuri Gagarin. The popular Nintendo character Mario was introduced in what classic video game?
Donkey Kong.
Correct. Rahim, Diana Prince is the civilian name of what superhero?
Pass.
Wonder Woman. Humans typically have a set of how many adult teeth?
25.
32. In 2006, Roger Goodell became the new commissioner of what pro sports league?
Football.
NFL. Who was the first female justice appointed to the Supreme Court?
Sandra Day O'Connor.
Correct. Phyllis, in college, President George W. Bush and John Kerry were both members of what Yale secret society?
The skull.
Skull and Bones. Phyllis, what Italian phrase is commonly used to refer to a restaurant with outdoor seating?
Al fresco.
Correct. Rahim, what American artist invented moving sculptures which are now known as mobiles?
Swift.
Switch.
Pass.
Alexander Calder. Rahim, what Lauren Weisberger bestseller was turned into a movie starring Meryl Streep in 2006?
Swift.
Devil Wears Prada.
Correct. Rahim, what is the name of the first U.S. space shuttle to orbit the Earth?
Pass.
Columbia. Rahim, what slogan for the internet company AOL became the title of a 1998 Tom Hanks movie? Rahim, the answer is you've got mail. You're out of time. You lose round 1. Phyllis, you keep 3.55 seconds to take through to the final round.
Wow, Rahim passing like an overweight man at a Mongolian beef bowl there. I also think, I don't know who the first Russian was to orbit the planet, but I believe the last one, Yeltsin's liver. What were your observations?
Well, I mean, Rahim has always said that general knowledge isn't his round, that numbers and logic will be his round, and to only be 4 seconds behind, not doing too badly.
You know what? You don't want to put that marker out there. You think you're going to smoke the numbers and logic round because that one's quirky. You really got to step up and back that one up. Rahim and Phyllis face the unique numbers and logic round when we come back. Don't miss it.
Coming up, will Rahim's finance background pay off in the numbers and logic round? And later, game show legend Tom McKee takes on the first man to win it all on Millionaire, John Carpenter.
Hey folks, welcome back to Grand Slams. Tonight's first competition is underway between 21's Rahim Oberholtzer, heretofore referred to as Rahim, toughing it out against Phyllis Harris, heretofore referred to as Rahir. A survivor of super greed, both competing for a spot in our quarterfinals. Looming in the background, of course, the massive specter of Ken Jennings, whose cerebellum was seen climbing the Empire State Building earlier this afternoon with Fay Ray in its hand. Up next is the numbers and logic round, which is unique to Grand Slam. Any predictions here, Amanda?
Well, I think it's important to say at this point that neither of them did very well in the last round. I mean, Rahim was 3 out of 8 correct, while Phyllis was 5 out of 10. So I think their nerves are getting the better of them slightly, and they've got to cool it here. There were 7 passes in total in that round, and hopefully they're going to get over their opening jitters and answer more questions as we move forward. But I know that Rahim is very confident going into this round. His background is in finance, so he thinks he has, and I know you love this phrase, a leg up.
Yeah, but he's got to step up to this competition. This numbers and logic thing has been the thorn in the paw of many a contestant. It's like Capote's novella, Answered Prayers. Be careful what you wish for, Rahim. Let's see the numbers play out for our 2 contenders. Once again, they are now in the control of the questioner.
Contestants, take your positions. Round 2 is the numbers and logic round. Rahim, you have 1 switch. Phyllis, you have 2 switches left to use. Rahim, you'll be going first in this round. Your clock will begin to count down now. If A equals 1 and Z equals 26, what is the sum of the letters in Dada?
54.
10. If Matt weighs 200 pounds and can lift 150% of his body weight, how much can he lift?
300 pounds.
Correct. Phyllis, what is 1/3 of 1,560?
520.
Correct. Rahim, what is 12.6 minus 9.7?
2.9.
Correct. Phyllis, what is 18 times 12?
216.
Correct. Rahim, what does y equal in this equation?
66.
4. Rahim, what is the mathematical term for a positive angle measuring less than 90 degrees?
Switch.
A cube.
Correct. Rahim, what number is represented by the Roman numeral CDXV?
415.
Correct. Phyllis, a realtor working on a 6% commission will earn how much money from the sale of a $2.5 million home?
150,000.
Correct. Rahim, what is 100 squared minus 1?
999.
9,999. How many nickels equal $1.40?
24.
28. Rahim, what is the sum of the first 5? Rahim, the answer to that question is 30. You're out of time. You lose round 2. Phyllis, you keep 39.31 seconds to take through to the final round.
Well, Rahim fed a little bit of humble pie there in the numbers and logic round. It would appear the only numbers he's really intimately acquainted with at the end of that round is the 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 across his clock.
Well, you called it. You called it. You said that, you know, if you're confident going into a round, it's not exactly the best thing to do.
Yeah,
well, confident about that particular round.
Yeah, you don't want to put the whammy on yourself in that round. That is a quirky beast there. Our players are walking off stage for a quick, well-deserved rest. How are things looking so far after the first 2 rounds, Amanda?
Well, Dennis, in that round, Rahim panicked a little bit, as we saw, and he only got 3 out of 7 correct, bringing him to a total of 6 out of 15. Now, Phyllis, however, held her nerve. She got all 4 of her questions right, giving her a total 9 out of 14. She'll be taking a 42.86-second lead to take into the final round.
Nah, I think she was karmically clean going into the round because she feared the beast, that he said he could conquer it, and it came back to snap him. Now listen, Rahim's a poker player. He's drawn pocket deuces so far. I better hope he flips something on the river here in the next round. Let's see what they're thinking backstage at halftime.
It was a tough first half. I felt really good after the first game. I thought that general trivia would be one of my weaker subjects, given that Phyllis has been on like 6 different game shows and, you know, has a lot of experience with that. And so after that game, I felt great. Then the second round came, and I don't know, it just sort of fell apart. Phyllis has been doing a great job. She was extremely nervous before coming on here, and you wouldn't know it. She's holding her own.
I am seriously nervous. I had no idea what the clock was going to be. I didn't know I was ahead. Thank you for letting me know. Glad the numbers part is over, because that was totally freaking me out, and just looking to get through it. And so happy you guys asked me to be here. I can't even tell you. I love Rahim. So I just met him, and he's the kindest, warmest, wonderfulest person. And if he beats me, he beats me. I mean, really, I couldn't be beaten by someone better.
Well, Rahim and Phyllis have been backstage being oiled by their handlers with various unguents and potions. And now time for battle, and we return to the arena for our 3rd round in the game, words and letters.
That's right. Now, this round is similar to numbers and logic in that it's all about using a different part of the mind, not just spewing out memorized facts. Phyllis, of course, is very confident going into this. Let's see what happens as they are now in the control of the questioner.
Contestants, take your positions. Round 3 is the words and letters round. Rahim has no switches. Phyllis has 2 switches left to use. Phyllis, you'll go first in this round. Your clock will begin to count down now. What U.S. state name is hidden in this phrase?
Missouri.
Correct. Rahim, what is the last letter in the Greek alphabet?
Omega.
Correct. Phyllis, separate the author's first and last names in this jumble.
Pass.
Truman Capote. What president's name is an anagram of lamp jokes?
Switch.
Pass.
James Polk. Rahim, what wild dog is hidden in this phrase?
Pass.
Dingo. What F is the official language of Iran?
Farsi.
Correct. Phyllis, spell dissipate.
D-I-S-S-I-P-A-T-E.
Correct. Rahim, what letter comes 2 before the penultimate letter of the English alphabet?
W.
Correct. Phyllis, add vowels to get the name of a U.S. airline company.
Continental.
Correct. Rahim, separate the 2 original members of the Jackson 5 in this jumble.
Michael. Pass.
Michael and Germain. Rahim, what 5-letter word connects stainless to wool?
Steel.
Correct. Phyllis, what 4-legged animal is hidden in this phrase?
Pass.
Llama. Which letter in duplication appears twice?
I.
Correct. Rahim, what does the J stand for in the acronym JPEG?
Pass.
Joint. What famous doctor's name is an anagram of dim red fungus?
Pass.
Sigmund Freud. What B is a person who works at the counter of a coffee house?
Pass.
Barista. Add consonants to this puzzle to get a current commonwealth.
Australia.
Correct. Phyllis, spell fortuitous.
F-O-R-T-I-T.
F-O-R-T-U-I-T-O-U-S. What 4-letter word connects breathing to temperature?
Room.
Correct. Rahim, how many total vowels are there in the word requisition? Rahim, the answer is 6. You're out of time. Phyllis, you take 10.83 seconds through to the final round.
What do you think?
Dingo got my 3rd round. Looks like Rahim's a broken man after the easy first question. I think all of us knows what letter brings up the rear in the Greek alphabet. He seemed to go into a tizzy there, a downward spiral. I think his spirit has been broken. I think he's a shell of a man.
And because of that, I think Phyllis is up about 53 seconds, which is going to see her well in the final round.
Well, you know, I'm not that good at predicting these things. Every time I think somebody's going to smack the other person down, they come back in 53 seconds. An eternity in this game. There's just one more round to go in the opening matchup. We'll see if Rahim can come from behind to beat Phyllis in the all-important final round, sending a trip to the quarterfinals. You're right. You better applaud. When we return, you better applaud.
After that, John Carpenter, the first ever $1 million winner on Millionaire anywhere in the world, to take on tic-tac-toe Tom McKee, who first won big on a game show more than 20 years ago.
Back to the first matchup of the night, where 21's Rahim Oberholtzer and Greed's Phyllis Harris are about to face off one final time to see which one will make it to our quarterfinals. Amanda, what's the cut of the jib on this round?
Dennis, well, I'm not going to argue that Phyllis pretty much does have the lead here. She has a 53.69 second lead. But as we've seen in previous rounds, one contestant gets 2 questions wrong, and that gives the opponent extra time. And the other thing to note is that Rahim's got 11 out of 23 correct. Phyllis, 14 out of 22, so she doesn't have that many questions correct ahead of Rahim.
Man, Rahim's having a crap night. Let's see if he can pull it together here. Let's join our contestants for the final 10. They're now in the control of the questioner.
Contestants, take your position. Contestants, this is the final round. Rahim, you kept no time from earlier rounds. That means you have a total of 1 minute on your clock. Phyllis, you kept 53.69 seconds from earlier rounds. That means you have 1 minute, 53.69 seconds on your clock. Both contestants receive an additional switch, which means Rahim has 1 switch, Phyllis has 2 switches left to use. Rahim, you'll go first in this round. Your clock will begin to count down now. Titan, the 2nd largest moon in the solar system, orbits what planet?
Jupiter.
Saturn. Roger Murtaugh and Martin Riggs. Franchise.
Lethal Weapon.
Correct. Phyllis, what number is represented by the Roman numeral CD?
400.
Correct. Rahim, on the TV sitcom The Cosby Show, what was the first name of Cliff Huxtable's only son?
Theo.
Correct. Phyllis, what 5-letter word links green to tack?
Thumb.
Correct. Rahim, if a 7-foot 2-inch man married a 5-foot 6-inch woman, how many inches taller than his wife would he be?
20.
Correct. Phyllis, what popular beverage was created by Georgia pharmacist John Pemberton in 1886?
Coca-Cola.
Correct. Rahim, built in the 1930s by Frank Lloyd Wright, Falling Water is located in what U.S. state?
Pass.
Pennsylvania. Rahim, the giant panda's diet is made up almost entirely of what plant?
Eucalyptus.
Bamboo. What is 20% of 80?
16.
Correct. Phyllis, in 2006, former Survivor winner Richard Hatch was found guilty of perjury and what other crime?
Tax evasion.
Correct. Rahim, in Greek mythology, what three-headed dog guarded the entrance to Hades?
Pass.
Cerberus. Which cookie brand is hidden in this phrase?
Oreo.
Correct. Phyllis, from 1970 to 2004, the World Series of Poker's main event was held at what Las Vegas casino?
Finion's Horseshoe.
Correct. Rahim, what Swedish furniture company was founded by Ingvar Kamprad in 1943?
Switch.
IKEA.
Rahim, you're out of time. The correct answer is IKEA. Phyllis, you're tonight's Grand Slam winner.
And the man who first came up with the concept for IKEA, not surprisingly, a self-made billionaire. I would have to say, out of all the names I've heard to enter prison with in the history of the world, Dick Hatch has to be the worst. What did you think of that, Rob?
Well, with 5 out of 5 correct in that round, Phyllis will be meeting up with Ken Jennings in the quarterfinals.
Well, coming up next, an IRS man and a retired Navy pilot battle. I think I read for that pilot once. Yet another spot in the quarterfinals is up for grabs. Don't go away.
It was a tough game. I think this is where experience really took over. Phyllis has been on a lot of shows, has a lot more varied experience, and she was great. I don't think she needs my advice. She's doing great just on her own. She's a wonderful lady. I'm very happy for her, and I wish her the best against, I guess, Ken in the next round.
I knew I won a round or so, but I really, honest to God, thought I had 10 seconds, because he said something about 10 seconds after the third round. So I thought, 10 seconds, that's so close, like we're really going to kick our butts. And they said, you have 53 seconds, and I was like, oh my God, like I was totally shocked. Well, I'm playing Ken Jennings next, so that scares the living daylights out of me. But the good news is, if Ken Jennings beats me, it's Ken Jennings. You know what I mean? Like, I got there. You know, I get to play him, just playing him.
Hey, folks, welcome back to the opening round action on Grand Slam. Some of the game show world's biggest winners have come to play for more money, more notoriety, hoping to capture this coveted championship title. Phyllis Harris wiped out Rahim, Oberholtzer. Wasn't quite Nicole Richie in a sumo tournament, but close. That was our first game of the night. Now it's time for the second matchup.
That's right. IRS revenue collector John Carpenter, the first ever $1 million winner on Millionaire in the world, is about to come up against Tom McKee, one of the first game show players to record a then unheard of winning streak, 43 games on tic-tac-toe back in 1980. Let's meet these two men of steel.
I'm John Carpenter from Hamden, Connecticut. I was the first person to win the $1 million on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. For the final question, when I saw it, I said to myself, oh, this is too good to be true.
Hi, Dad.
Hi.
And I really need your help. I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to win the $1 million.
People have told me that, that I came across as an arrogant SOB. I was just trying to be funny. Really, my life now consists of work and raising my 2.5, almost 3-year-old son, who's a handful.
Grand Slam seems like a very difficult show, very fast-paced.
Really, I just have to hope that whoever I'm playing is worse than me.
I'm Tom McKee from Marriottsville, Maryland.
I was on tic-tac-toe back in 1980. I won $312,700.
Name the group.
Yellow.
Right for tic-tac-toe!
Tom held the record for the longest-winning game show contestant, 49 games.
So a gentleman named Ken Jennings kind of blew that away.
Tom likes to win.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Boom.
I think Tom will do very well on Grand Slam.
The format of the game should serve to equalize things a little bit because nobody's ever had to go up there and answer the questions boom, boom, boom.
That one guy won a game show in 1980. What was that? That 1-and-off week where the village people hosted concentration? There we see them backstage, both composed, ready for battle.
Well, Dennis, this is actually a very legendary pairing tonight. I'm really excited about this one. John may have set the bar by being the first $1 million winner on Millionaire, but he's up against a game show legend here tonight. He set so many records for his time, and if I may be as bold to say as he was the original Ken Jennings. We haven't seen this guy in a quarter of a century, I believe. 1980?
Well, let's see if Tom is a legend or a myth. Let's go to the arena.
Good luck.
Well, it looks like our players are ready for round one. So for the first time tonight, they are now in the control of the questioner.
Contestants, take your positions. Round one is a general knowledge round. Earlier, you tossed a coin to see who should go first, and Tom, you lost, so you'll answer the first question. Your clock will start to count down now. In 1614, the Native American princess Pocahontas converted to Christianity and was given what English first name?
Pass.
Rebecca. When referring to a popular MTV show, what do the letters TRL stand for?
Pass.
Total Request Live. Flutes, oboes, and clarinets are all part of what musical instrument family?
Woodwind.
Correct. John, black tea flavored by oil extracted from bergamot orange rinds is known by what name?
Oolong.
Earl Grey. What dangerous liaisons and Pulp Fiction star was named after a Hindu goddess?
Uma Thurman.
Correct. Tom, what artist was known for his Water Lilies series of paintings?
Monet.
Correct. John, the Tower Bridge traverses what London river?
Thames.
Correct. Tom, what Shakespeare play has the stage direction Exit Pursued by a Bear?
Pass.
The Winter's Tale. What long-running television show regularly features a stopwatch during its opening montage?
Switch.
60 Minutes.
Correct. Tom, which U.S. president was the first to receive over 500 electoral votes in the presidential election?
Richard Nixon.
FDR. Linkin Park and what rapper collaborated on the 2004 mashup album
Pass.
Collision Course? Jay-Z. The stars Betelgeuse and Rigel are part of what constellation?
Orion.
Correct. John, the Transylvania region associated with the Count Dracula legend is found in what country?
Romania.
Correct. Tom, in the film Jaws, what is the name of Quint's boat? The answer is Orca. Tom, you're out of time. John, you keep 31.5 seconds to take through to the final round.
Well done.
Quite frankly, Tom would not have gotten the answer Jay-Z if you asked him the first and last letter in the word jazz.
That's right. He has said that his weakness is going to be pop culture, which is understandable. And of course, you know, we know that John Carpenter, he was on Millionaire, and he said it himself. He got all the questions that he already knew, so he was lucky. They had a weak start, these two guys.
All right, there's lots more gameplay coming up with numbers and logic. That's our next round. And then on to words and letters, the two non-trivia rounds that could stump even the most seasoned game show vets. We'll see them face each other head on when we return on Grand Slam.